Hello, my name is Trey Michelle, and today I'll be discussing the Florence Cathedral Dome, also known as the Duomo, built in 1436, and how it was originally built, and first how we would build it today in 2025. I'll be discussing the original construction methods versus modern methods, the forces acting on the structure, and earlier construction fails of domes, um, and how that influenced the final design. I chose this structure because I've actually been there in real life. Here's a photo that I took of it. So I thought it was really cool. I went inside, and so it's something I wanted to do. Yeah, first of all, the dome was just built to show the artistic and just in the ambition of Florence. They had a lot of money to put into art projects like this. And at the time, no one knew how to build such a big dome without it collapsing. Structurally, the dome had to withstand massive gravity forces, obviously, outward lateral thrust and wind forces. They solved this with a double shell dome and horizontal tension chains, also with internal ribs. I show a photo right here of just the inside of it. You're able to walk through the stairs up the dome to get to the actual top of the Duomo. And the tension chains actually act more of like a tension ring to prevent any spreading of the dome. Yeah, so past construction failures actually influenced the cathedral a lot in the dome. There have been a lot of failures of domes in the past because of the outward thrust of the dome and the pressure with that. Though they were in Gothic vaults and other cathedrals that had smaller domes, and a lot of them had external buttresses. And so what the Florentines learned from that was that those aren't as reliable, and so they used internal chains and different brick patterns to keep it from having that outward thrust. So the original construction process consisted of just skilled laborers and newly invented machines. There was no power tools, engines, cranes, things like that. So they actually invented a new custom hoisting machine powered by oxen to lift brick into the air. A major challenge for the dome was false work, obviously. Traditional domes would use large wooden centerings, but there just wasn't enough timber in Tuscany at the time for that kind of false work. And so they invented a herringbone brick pattern and a series of stone ribs to create a self-supporting dome that didn't need the full scaffolding. And the transportation just depended on river barges, carts, and that newly invented hoisting machine. Yeah, so the dome was built today. Obviously, the construction would look a lot different. Before construction even started, there'd be site mapping, seismic mapping, structural software used. Um, and it'd probably be built out of a steel reinforced concrete structure, which is just lighter and faster to construct. Uh, and obviously modern false work too, like steel scaffolding, prefabricated work platforms, which are much safer than just historic methods that they did use. Transportation would rely on trucks, tower cranes, forklifts, and then drones for site mapping. And the role of the builder would just change from like a master craftsman to a full like construction team of engineers, project managers, contractors, and then like Eskimo versus how I think would be built today. I think shows a lot, not only about how technology has evolved, but also how builders view building now. It's a lot more corporate than I think it was in the past. But the Duomo also just shows artistic innovation and just presence of time. I mean, it's still there to this day, and you can still go inside, look at the beautiful paintings on the inside of it. So I think it's a very important structure and definitely ahead of its time in terms of the building techniques and just the overall structure used.